What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Wave Makers community. If you're joining us for the first time, we're a community of people dedicated to creating positive waves of change for ourselves, our community, and our world. With that being said, my name is Nick Teixeira. I'm 26 years old. I'm one of the hosts tonight, and we're going to be speaking about the topic of effort tonight. We have 7 to 8 weeks of great content. Every single week, we're going through new topics that every single one of us right now join us from throughout the whole country. No matter what industry you're in, no matter what what you're passionate about, no matter what your goals are in life, we have one thing in common in this community. We all want to grow. We all believe in getting better every single day. And we're just here to assist everyone in that journey. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. And I would love to see, hold on a second. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can see this. Can you guys see the screen? Yeah, awesome, fantastic. So guys, I'm gonna do the fun part of this call, and then Mike on the other side is gonna really bring some things that are gonna get us thinking. And my recommendation to every single one of us that are here tonight, because we're learning just like everybody else, my recommendation is that if you're here tonight, everything that is said, I encourage you to think, how does this apply to myself? How does this apply to me? Okay? Because I think it's easy for us to think, especially when it comes to effort, right? When we say success comes through sustained effort, I think it's easy as we dive deep into this, especially when we get challenged a little bit, when we start thinking about our own efforts, it's easy to look at other people, but we're not looking at ourselves. So my recommendation is let's really figure out, let's take this as a great Monday and a time well invested so that we can grow from this call. Okay, great friends don't just support us, they challenge us. So our goal is to support you and challenge you to improve a little bit. Okay, so my question is, are you willing to pay the price for it? You wouldn't be here if you wanted to be average in life. Okay, you want to be extraordinary, you want extraordinary results in life. And so that's what we all have in common. Okay, so check this out. Most people never give any serious effort when it comes to accomplishing the life of their dreams. Okay, Les Brown said most people knock on the door of their dreams once, then they run away before anyone has a chance to open the door. But if you keep knocking persistently and endlessly, eventually the door will open. And I think that is so real. And Les Brown, as you guys know, is one of the top speakers in the world. He's a powerhouse. And I think it's interesting that he says that most people knock on the door of their dreams once. See, when it starts getting harder is when we start backing down, is when we lower our dreams and goals because we don't want to fail. But we're going to dive into that right now. So my question is, are you tired of running away? Are you tired of settling, of making excuses for yourself? Of reasoning, coming up with all these reasons and excuses as to why it's not happening for you? Are you tired of starting over and tired of talking? If so, this call is going to be for you. Okay, without giving any serious effort, you have no chance in succeeding in life. And before I move on to the next slide, guys, I just want to share as an example and as a testimony that we're in a business that we're working with a lot of people. And as we're coaching people, as we're getting to know people, getting to know their goals, their dreams, their desires, their pain points, and what they don't like that's happening in their lives. And everyone has a dream. Everyone has a dream. They know what they want in life, right? But then when it's time to actually stop talking and taking the steps towards actually doing it, man, I mean, I see it over and over again. And I know that was me one day. And I still have that ingrained in my subconscious mind from my lesser self that still comes up. And man, I love talking about it. But then when it's time to actually get up early and make it happen, when it's time to put the extra hours, when it's time to keep going, even when rejection comes, the lesser self just wants to give up. And all these reasons as to why, maybe I'm not good enough, and maybe it's not that bad. And all these reasons started to come up. So I know that you guys can relate. Hopefully you either, if you're doing that right now, that's okay. We're going to work on that together. And if you're not doing that, you can think of a time that you were doing that, right? Drop a 3 in the chat if you can agree. If you can either remember when you used to do that or you're still doing that. And we need to knock that out, because that self-limiting belief is going to keep us from achieving the life of our dreams. Okay. So at first, when we're going towards the road of success, like I said, no matter what industry we're in, that we're going in sales and business, at a job, it doesn't matter what we're working on. At first, you won't get recognized. You will get criticized. You will get ridiculed. You will feel like a loser. You will doubt yourself, and you will question your goals and dreams. And it will seem like you're failing miserably at it. Every single person that succeeded massively in life and accomplished all of their goals, they all face that. So if you are going through that right now, that is a great sign that you're on your way to success. Majority of people in this world right now, which 90 to 95% of people are doing things they're not very happy with. They're not really living the life of their dreams. You see, they don't want to fail. So do you want to fail in life? I think or do you want to fail, period? I think that's one of those questions that are rhetorical, right? Because the answer is always no, of course, I don't want to fail. Here's the funny thing. There's no way to succeed without failing. This may be news to some of you, okay? Success comes right after failure. So this is you must go through success before you get to failure. It's impossible to actually succeed without failing first. Okay. There are 4 levels of learning and succeeding in anything, right? When you think about it, at first we're unconsciously incompetent. We don't even know what we don't know. Then we move up a little bit. We become consciously incompetent. That's when we know that we don't know, right? The first time that you're tying your shoes, you're like, oh, I don't even know what I'm doing, right? So you're consciously aware that you don't know. Then we become consciously competent by doing it enough, by failing it enough times and moving forward regardless, that at that point we know that we know, but we have to be consciously working on that every time. And then comes the later stages of success that comes through practice and effort, by giving the consistent effort, which is unconsciously competent. You don't even have to think about it. You just do it, right? So let's take a look. I'm almost done here. Let's take a look at some of the people that we can see that have succeeded massively, right? Some of the famous failures who succeeded through effort. Steve Jobs, 30 years old when he was devastated and depressed after being removed from the company he started. Okay, he ignited personal computer and smartphone revolution. He was the pioneer of all of it. Walt Disney, he was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. He also revolutionized the animation industry and founded Disney World, okay? Albert Einstein wasn't able to speak until 4 years old, and teachers said he wouldn't amount to much. He also later in his life, won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. He was also considered one of the greatest math and physics geniuses in the world. He failed miserably. Michael Jordan, after being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in a room, and cried. Won 5 MVP awards, 2 Olympic gold medals, and greatest basketball player of all time. There's so many more achievements that we could say here, but you guys get the idea. All these people have failed miserably in life. The Beatles, rejected from recording studio, who said, we don't like their sound. They have no future in the show business. Okay, they won 10 Grammy Awards, and they're considered one of the best bands in history. Incredible. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, he was rejected by Harvard 10 times, never went there, and also rejected from a job 30 times. He's a global icon of entrepreneurship and business, and Fortune selected him as the world's 50 greatest leaders. If I'm not mistaken, right now, he's the number 2 richest man in Asia, or one of the top in Asia, and is worth $40 billion, his net worth. Okay, so the point is, how many years do you think that these people had to go through failures, rejections, falling on their faces, people laughing, criticizing, talking bad about them? How many years did they have to endure and continue to strive forward and put the effort in order to achieve these results? So my question to you is, how much are you willing to put in? How much effort are you willing to give at your dreams and goals? What do all these people have in common? They were all committed to staying consistent, even in the face of adversity, and give serious, unceasing, and relentless effort daily in the pursuit of their goals and dreams, regardless of how long it took. Are you ready to commit? If you're ready to commit, drop a 1 in the chat. We're going to draw a line in the sand today. We're going to stop with the lesser self-work, and we're going to begin putting the real effort that matches our goals. We cannot have a multi-million-dollar goals with a minimum wage work ethic. All right. So that's what I have to share tonight with you guys. I hope that you are warmed up right now, because Mike's going to take us home. This is my brother right here. This is someone that I go to battle with, and it's someone that always holds me accountable as well. So Mike Batanti, passing the mic to you, my brother.
I appreciate it, Nikki T. It's great value. And every time I see that list of people who have tried and failed and kept going, and then to see what they accomplish, right? I had posted the other day, it takes the average successful entrepreneur 4 attempts at launching something before they actually launch the company that takes them to success. And that company that takes them to success, on average, it takes 7 to 9 years for that company to actually be ready to sell, right, for a profit. So sometimes we just don't give ourselves a chance. And one of the biggest figures that I talk about is Abraham Lincoln. He lost almost everything he tried to run for, and then won the presidency and abolished slavery, right? So like, sometimes you just got to keep chipping away and your opportunity will come, right? That's why we lean on faith, right? The shield of faith. So look, if you guys have been following us for a while, you know, yin and yang. Nikki T is super loving and soft-spoken. I wasn't built that way, right? I was raised in tough love, military style. So if you're not ready, you're not ready, but I'm going to drop some hard truths, right? One of the things that keeps me going, and I want you to reflect on this, I got it from Nick. He said, Mike, imagine the end of your road, right? Imagine your deathbed, and imagine the feeling of regret that you will feel if you don't chase your dreams, if you don't give it 150%. Imagine, just take yourself there. Take 30 seconds and take yourself to the end of your life and think about that feeling. It goes one of 2 ways. You're either smiling and excited and you're proud of yourself and you're content with the effort that you gave, or you're one of those people who literally, you're scared because you know you didn't give it all. You don't know what's next, right? And more importantly, that regret. You're like, oh man, back in my day, I was this, this, and this, but I didn't chase it. And so it didn't materialize, right? It's something that keeps me going, right? And I want to ask you something in addition to that, is like this ability to provide the things in your life that you're after. When you sit down and you write these goals, how attached to these goals are you really, right? If you got kids, the feeling of not being able to provide for your kids, what does that do to you? Are you like, oh, like couldn't put food on the table? Like maybe next week, right? Or do you have a burning desire to not only put food on the table, but to put them through college so they don't carry that debt, right? Or to set them up with a vehicle so they can get around and have more than what you had, right? These things that got to grab a hold of you, right? Here's another thing. All the places in the world that you want to see, all of God's wonders. You get to your end of the road and you're like, man, saw pictures of it. What does that do to you? Are you like, oh, one chance at life? And I thought about going to Dubai. I thought about going to the Bahamas. I thought about going to Curacao. Thought about going to Jamaica. But man, it just never happened. Never happened for me, right? Here's something that I've really grown to take note of. My human nature, me biologically, I was not created to make money. That's not what I was created to do. So if I was not created to make money, why would I spend my entire life chasing money? Why would that be the goal? I come from a successful father, and I noticed something very young. The 1%, 2%, and 3%, they do something that 97% don't do. They accumulate investing capital and they make money on their money. They focus on multiple streams of income so that if one cookie jar runs out, they have more cookies that they can pull from to go buy more cookies. They leverage these cookies to get a loan to buy more cookies to refill up their jar. These are the principles that aren't taught in school. So you need to learn them for yourself. And you need to put in effort. You need to take risks on yourself, or I promise you, you will get to the end of your road and you'll be like, man, I got nothing to leave behind to my children who are also suffering because I passed on the same lackadaisical mindset. And I myself did not travel the way that I wanted to. I did not live the way that I wanted to. I did not go to the places I wanted to go. I did not have the toys that I wanted to have. The choice is yours, and it stems from effort. Warren Buffett says we all got 24 hours. So you break your day into thirds. I want you to write this down. Warren Buffett, he has 2,200 streams of income. He is one of the most wealthy individuals in this country. He is the 0.0001%. And he says you break your day into thirds. You got 8 hours for sleep. You got 8 hours for your career, your job to pay the bills. And that extra 8 hours is the direct correlation to the people who are successful and the people who are unsuccessful in this world. What are you doing with your free time is the question of the day, right? And it's simple. The concept, the effort and the work required is not simple. The forcing yourself out of your shitty habits is not easy, but the concept is very easy, right? I need to decide that I want a better life for myself. I need to structure out how I'm going to achieve a better life for myself. And then I need to get to work. I need to decide, I need to structure, and I need to get to work. I need to decide, I need to structure, and I need to get to work, right? Look at yourself in the mirror after this call. And are you one of those people who you sound really good? Your ideas, they sound really, really good, right? I was that guy until a mentor came and said, hey, Mike, check this out. Well done is much better than well said. You say a lot of things great, Mike. God gave you this. God gave you a mouthpiece. You're great at talking about your ideas, but man, does your work ethic suck. And man, does your effort that you put into things really need some work, right? So I had to retrain myself. I had to revamp, and it's okay. Wherever you're at in your walk, guess what? The sun's coming up tomorrow, even above the clouds, even above the storm that might be hitting your area. The sun is shining, and you get another chance to revamp and restructure and do it the right way. Start retraining your brain to do it differently, right? I'm going to pull from Think and Grow Rich. If you have not read Think and Grow Rich, every single one of my multi-millionaire mentors attributes their success to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. One of my mentors literally asks people, how many times have you read Think and Grow Rich? And the average person says 1 time. And he looks at them and says, it shows. Right? That's how powerful this book is. But one of the biggest concepts in that book is the story about burning your ships. Drop some 2s if you know the story. Drop some 2s if you know what burning your ships mean. Right? So in short, you got an army on one side, and they got to go take on this other piece of land. If they don't attack, they're going to get attacked. They're going to get consumed. So they're much smaller, they're outnumbered, they're outarmed, and the general puts everybody on the ships, sends them over to the beaches, unpacks everything, and he sets the ships on fire. and he looks at his men. He says, we either win or we die. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party of success. And hey, I don't have it all, but my effort is pretty dialed in. And I bet you're going to flash 5 years from now, and you're going to be like, that kid had fire in his eyes. That kid burned his ships a long time ago about the life that I deserve. You know what it really comes down to, Nikki T? It comes down to the fact that I love myself so much that I'm going to sacrifice whatever I need to sacrifice to get the life that I deserve, because I'm a king. And my family are going to get the lives that they deserve because I love them and I love myself. So I'm willing to make the sacrifices. I'm willing to work the long days. I'm willing to take a chance. I'm willing to spend all my money. I'm willing to go all in. I'm willing to burn my ships and eliminate a plan B. Eliminate it. You know why plan A doesn't work for you? Because you constantly have plan B. Constantly. You are so focused on making sure plan B is right there just in case. Just in case it gets too bad, it gets too painful, it starts to hurt a little bit, and you immediately retreat. That's why plan A continues to fail, right? Get rid of plan B and go all in on yourself and see what happens, right? And when the failures come, which they will, fail forward. And when the pain comes, which it will, embrace it. Fall in love with the pain, because it's where your strength comes from. It's where your passion is going to come from. This shit hurts. I love it. Give me more. I'm exhausted. Good. It means you're putting in the hours, right? And I'm going to keep chipping away, right? And here's the reality of the situation. Normally I say I'm just talking to me, but this time I really am talking to you because I am doing the work. This ain't for me. I am putting in the effort. I have burned my ships. I do have my goals. I am taking steps forward. This is directly for you. You need to get up and you need to decide what you're going to do. You need to structure what you're going to do, and you need to go do it. Right? Nikki T, I'm going to pass it back to you, bud.
Wow. Drop a 3 in the chat. Wow, man. Powerful, Mike. Thank you, brother. Thank you for that virtual slap in the face. We all need it. I need it too. I'm grateful, man. I'm burning my ships as well. I've already burned it, but I think I have a couple of boats still sitting on the sidelines that I got to burn as well. You know what I mean? So I love it, man. Super grateful for the time that we got to spend here together. For those of you watching the recording, thank you guys. If you haven't yet been part of our live calls, join us on the link below in the Telegram so you can be a part of the live mastermind. For those of you guys that are here with us together live, we're going to go into some mastermind. So thanks so much. God bless.